As the tax cut debate rages on in Congress, are lawmakers missing the mark once again? And if so, what other solutions are out there? Rebel Cole of DePaul University is with us to talk about this. Welcome back, Rebel.
Pleasure to be back.
So this current tax cut proposal involves extending the Bush-era tax rates, the lowered rates, a 2 percentage point payroll tax cut, and business tax cuts on investments, among many other things. Is this overall, is it the right answer?
What we were looking at is a huge potential tax increase kicking in January. So what they've done is essentially put off the table that tax increase. But that said, we're not really going to get any tax cut per se. We're just going to extend the status quo. So that's not going to have any stimulative effect on the economy.
Okay, job creation, you don't see it?
It's not going to help create jobs. It's going to help prevent further job losses, because what we've now resolved, we're going to hopefully resolve a lot of the uncertainty about the tax code going through the next couple of years. And so then employers can start planning again for planning purposes. The estate tax being set up, people can start planning for estate purposes and so on and so forth. So a lot of the uncertainties being eliminated, but since we're not actually cutting taxes, we're just avoiding a tax increase, we're not really stimulating the economy.
What about the businesses that could get 100% write-off on any capital equipment that they invest in? Is that going to incentivize them to do that?
Some may accelerate purchases. They were planning on doing next year from 2012 and 2011. But the simple fact is a lot of people aren't investing right now. They don't need to invest because the demand isn't there. So you can offer them all the tax incentives to invest that they want, but if they're not looking to actually expand, that's not going to have a whole lot of effect.
Okay, one major sticking point of this current proposal centers around that estate tax proposal. And let's talk about what that involves. It involves exempting the first $5 million for seniors, or for singles rather, and then above $5 million it would be a 35% tax. Obviously this probably could change. Right
now, this year, we have no death tax or no estate tax, so we're going back to the old system, which I think was a $1 million exemption and a 55% tax over that. So this is far, far more lenient than that, much more better for people who happen to be dying and their heirs. So the Democrats don't like that because they think it's way, way too generous, especially because this is, most people don't have estates of over $1 million and certainly don't have estates over $5 million. So they'd like to see that scaled back, to $4, $3, $2 million, and see that 35% rate on the excess raised up to 45%.
Okay, I think everyone agrees that there needs to be an overall revamp of the tax code. So what should it look like?
Well, we just had the Deficit Commission come out a few days ago with a proposal for a massive overhaul, where we were doing something similar to what happened in 1986 with the Tax Reform Act under Reagan, where they rolled the overall tax rates way back and did away with a lot of the deductions. So since then, we've been handing out deductions right and left. That's what Congress does. They buy votes with tax preferences. So the idea is to do something like that. The biggest sticking point is they're talking about doing away or scaling back the mortgage interest deduction.
What about the fact that it could hurt low-income Americans that depend on everyday items, though, food and clothing?
Well, currently we have a sales tax here in Illinois where we have a differential rate for food. Like I think it's like 2% versus 10%. We could do the same thing with the national sales tax. You could have a differential rate for food and for medicine to deal with the regressivity of the tax.
Okay, thank you very much for your thoughts on this. Rebel Cole of DePaul University.